Uh, so I will try to give you a short overview. Well, short it will. I struggle to do it in a short way because it's not so easy. The idea is, how can we train a team in the best possible way? So especially when we talk about team tactics. Oh, yes. Okay, just for those who were not there the previous day, in 1 minute. Yeah, this is me. This is my work in the Belgian FA. I work with our women's national team as an assistant coach. I work for the senior men's team. I was in the World Cup in Qatar. I was in Russia in the World Cup. I was in the Euros with the team as an analyst of the opponent. And my main job is coach education director. I deliver the pro license course in Belgium, and also for UEFA. I work as a quality member or an expert member of the JIRA panel, which is the panel that makes quality control all over Europe. So this is my daily environment, the men's and the women's teams. So I start from an example like what we did this week here in Doha with subgroup, just to give you an idea. If you want to train a tactical topic, for example, like build up against pressing, playing through the third, so from your goalkeeper to the final third to try to score a goal, how can we find the free players in the midfield? If this is your topic, it must be very clear, and I take the example from our national teams, it must be very clear for yourself and for your players what is really the content of this topic. So I will come back just in a minute about this. We have very clear principles that we use for the players and for the coaching staff, so that everybody understands what it is about. And these are also the criteria that I will use in my training session to coach my players and to make evaluation after the training session. And one of these topics is, for example, I also showed it in the week. Sorry, I was too quickly. Just give you an idea. If we want to build up from the back with our teams, we always focus on the basic structure at the back that you will see here. And the players, they know it. This is basic structure. So you have our goalkeeper, your four defenders, and our 2 midfielders. We have 6 + 1, 7 players to attract the opponent. And this is what we will work on in the training exercises. Like you will see here, from these 6 + 2, finally we get to the striker. Yeah, and this structure is the foundation of our build-up process. Is it the only one? No, it's one of the 5, like I just showed you. But it must be very clear that the players, that they have a framework that they have to respect during the game. So before going to the training sessions, it must be very clear that as a coach, you need to have a clear game model. What does that mean? That you as a coach, you have some playing ideas and some tactics. These must be translated into principles for the whole team. And of course, when you start as a coach, it's always important to see what are my players' capabilities, what are they able to do, and then you adapt your playing idea and your principles. You adapt it to them, to their level of play. Yeah, it has also to do with the club culture. For example, let's take the example of Barcelona. Barcelona, they have a clear game model where the coach, he really has to stick on this, and where they will work all through the academy on the same principles. Yes, very important last point is, it's all about, when we talk about game model, there are different phases of the game. That means in possession, out of possession, and the transition game. So for me, when we talk about making training sessions more effective, it is about these 5 questions. How are you going to do this? What are you? I take the example of a build-up session. How do you want your players to build up? And then to make it specific, you have to keep in mind these 4 questions. Who will you be focusing on? What do you want them to do? Where and when? If you answer these 4 questions, sorry, then you will automatically have a clear picture of what you are looking for. And I give you an example. I took here, and I come back about Brighton in a moment. Watch this video clip, because you can say, okay, we are going to train. The red team is Brighton. Imagine that this is your team, and you want to train on build-up because the goalkeeper has the ball. Yeah. What does that mean, build-up for Brighton? What are the concepts that they use, and where every player on the pitch has a very specific role? Because you can say, who is involved? The main players when we start will be the goalkeeper, these 4 defenders, and maybe also these 2 defensive midfield. Let's have a look. So also here you see, I just go back. You see what this 104 principles do? 6 plus the goalkeeper. This is the basic structure. But what you see here, Chelsea is going to press with 5. That is the when. When they press with 5, maybe we need an extra player to help them. So then we create like 6.5, almost 7. And what is the role of the strikers? The strikers, they pin the defense. So they also have a very specific role when the ball is with the goalkeeper, because it's about collaboration. And then in ORFA, this is the second principle. Find a free player. And you see, the blue team, they will react. So
triple changes, Tony.
You have to look for the free player. If you can find him here, okay, perfect. And then it's bringing the ball to the final third. Because that's the objective of building up. We bring the ball to the final third and we try to get a scoring chance. Is it finished? No. Watch. Even this is part of the build-up process. We started to build up, we bring it to the final third, and we prepare for losing the ball. We must dominate from our positions. Like you see here, this player is marked. This player has a role. He covers this one. Here, everybody is ready for the second ball. Here, they are ready for pressing immediately. So, even when we work on build-up, there are much more other topics that are involved, that are linked to the build-up process. Like you can see here. I show you the video again, just to explain you why you have to start about these who. Who do you want to do what, when, and where on the pitch? Because look, like you see here, it's a clip at starting here at 54 minute point 35, and you will see it's a clip about, yeah, maybe 12 seconds. In these 12 seconds, the players, their roles, they are changing. So they are not free. How can we find the free player? That's how we can find them. But the players, they have to read that situation. And now they have to think about, okay, we go forward, we move up, we move up, we move up. We stay compact as a team. And of course, this last defender cannot go higher than the midline, or not much higher than the midline. And you see, it's about, what was it, 35 to start, 25 seconds. Yeah. So, another example of build-up, because sometimes people think, build-up, it is always short, like the one you've seen for Brighton. This is Belgian senior team, men's team, against Germany. So, what's happening here? I show you again, because again you will see the players have to read this situation. Germany is pressing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 more who are ready. So when they press with 5 plus 2, maybe we have to find another solution. We attract them, and now you can see it very well. Germany is pressing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's the one between the 6 and the 3 there. So it's about eliminating these 6 players with the long pass and sprint to support or receiving player. And knowing that when we play on this player here on the wing, he can go into depth or he can drop here. So we look for solutions there. We support them. And you see in 3 passes, you get on the other side and you score a goal. And again, here you see how we keep the dominating positions. Look, if we lose the ball, they are ready, they are ready, they are ready. Here, they are ready. Yeah. So, and the last example, and to have different possibilities, different options. Also, this is an option. Like you see, Liverpool, they press very high. Okay. We look for a long option, and you watch number 10. He's in support. He's ready to attack the final third. It's not a goal, but it's a good example of how can you build up. So for yourself as a coach, it must be very clear that you have to have clear guidelines for these different phases of the game. For the build-up, construction, for the middle part where you infiltrate to the final third, and for the final third, without forgetting the phase 4, which is the transition. So this is the starting point. You must make that clear model and write it down, that you know how are we going to attack in these 3 phases, 1, 2, 3, build up, controlling the zone of construction, it's build up, infiltrate to the final third, and dominate the box, scoring zone. And then on the right side, the red, it's the defensive. Yeah. How are we going to block the construction of the build-up of the opponent? How are we trying to make a medium block and regain the ball in the middle? And how are we going to defend our box? And of course, in orange, the 2 phases of transition. So all these things, and this is how we do it. We have to, as a coach, you have to write it down, that it is very clear how you want to play. Because if it's written on paper, this is your document that makes your team football DNA. For your players, with your coaching staff, it's clear for everybody what is your task, what is your role. And this is the task of the coach, to make this clear to all the players. Yes? So this is how we have summarized it for the national team. Yeah, we have 10 team tactical principles for the youth teams, and they are based upon these phases. And I will go quickly through them to show you that with these 10 principles, you can work on every concept and every moment of the game. So this is the big titles. This is the details. So, oh, sorry. First of all, I will only work on the left side now, and then in the practice, I will go also to the second part. So first topic, progressive building up from the back. So we want to start from our goalkeeper and the defenders, this 6 plus 2, yes, 4 plus 2, these 6 players. What we want progression. We want to go forward on the pitch. How are we going to do this? We look for quick ball circulation to the highest weak zone of the opponent. What does that mean? I show you an example. So, and you will see, I also show some examples from the women's team to show that it's not linked to any level. Everybody can do this. Yeah. So you will see here, build up from the goalkeeper. So we are going to attract the opponent. We keep the ball, we move the ball forward. And we really want to go forward, not from the right to the left, to the right to the left, turn the left to the right, and then vice versa. No, we want to go forward. Yeah. And you see, coming from here in 4 or 5 passes, coming from the goalkeeper. So this is the pressing line of the white team. She's breaking the line with this pass. She will go and get into the back of the defenders. And then also you see, we want positions in the box. They are ready. Also here, marking, covering, ready. Yeah. So I show you some pictures when she is on the ball, and that's what they have to learn on the training. What is the best option when I have the ball here? Yeah. She's in a good position. She's behind these players. So with this pass, you eliminate these players. Maybe you say, yeah, she could play there. But this is the best option because here she eliminates them. There, this player is, with this pass, this player is, this pass will not eliminate these strikers of England. Yeah. So it's about where is the space, where you find a 2v1 option. And then it's clear, the space is here. If she can play or left defender, you can bring her here in a 2v1 option, in a 2v1 situation, and attack the space on the side. This is what happens here. Okay. Example from the men's team. And this is also how we present it to the players. All these team tactics, these are pieces of the puzzle of the game. You start building up here. This is one piece. You put the pieces together and you get to the final third. And you will see there are different options of. This is like the long pass, and they are ready for the second pass because they have 2-3 players around the ball, and then you see from one goalkeeper you go to score the goal on the other side because it's clear what they want, what you want them to do, and this is prepared on the training session. If we get the ball on the side, one side, the other side has to be in front of the goal. So, quick ball circulation.
The lovely ball. Mertens, De Bruyne. How about this from Belgium? De Bruyne again. Meunier on the right. On this side, Mertens. Back to Meunier. This is a wonderful move. What a shot at the end of it. Well, that would have been the goal of the tournament.
It's coming from the same game. Yeah.
Lovely ball. Hazard can settle it all here. And does. Eden Hazard.
And it starts all from beginning, from the back. So build up is not just build up to build up. No, build up is to bring the ball to the final third. And you have to connect these topics to each other by answering the questions: who is involved? Who do you want to do what, where and when? What do you want from your strikers when we start building up? And this is another example. There is a free kick here. Free kick, it's the start of play. It's the build-up phase. Yeah. How can we get... So, the idea is, how are they pressing? They are pressing 2, 4, 5, 6, almost. Yeah. So, here there is a gap. Okay, one of your midfielders takes position there. And you can attack the final third. So this is built up, but built up that is prepared because every player has a role. The role of the defenders is to attract the pressing players. The role of the midfielders is to connect the starting point to the strikers. And you can see it, this is, every player has a role. Watch De Bruyne, how he will be scanning when the ball is coming. Watch very well. Up. He knows that he is alone. He can turn. And now every player has a role. In the center, there is Hazard who will go to the side and to create space for Lukaku. That's happening now. He's going outside. Lukaku is going inside to shoot on the goal. And you also see there is another supporting player. Yeah. So this is built up, like you see in the picture here. Attracting players, how many? It depends on the opponent. Players have to read the situation and find the right solution. Yeah. So another example is about out of vision runs. How to get this? This is a very important topic in football. How can we get in the back of the defenders? Yeah. You will see here an example. How can we get in the back of the defenders? But you have to make a deep run without the ball. And you will see here Lukaku, hop, go into depth, small pass, short pass in the back of the defenders and scoring a goal. Another example, where is again? Running in the back and scoring. Yeah, I show you the example again. So you get the ball in the midfield. This is important. This is the trigger for the striker. No pressure on the ball here with De Bruyne, no pressure. His player, this Hazard, he sees no pressure, so I go and run into depth. And then there is the perfect finishing. So these are, number 4, the runs in the box. Why? How do we want our strikers to take position in the box? And what's also here, it's about finding the blind zone of the defender. Watch, central defender, they are watching the ball. Or player, we want him to get in his back. And this is what happens here. The defender, he even doesn't know that the striker is in his back. I show you again. He's in the blind zone. He didn't scan like De Bruyne was doing a moment ago. And these runs, and I finished the examples with an action from in the Euros with our women's team. Running in the back of the opponent is the most difficult thing to defend as a defender. So you see building up and first run into depth. And now there will be a second run into depth. And perfect synchronization. Yeah. So these topics, if you want to work on these kind of tactical concepts, you have to be very clear what is the role for every player, and you have to work on it in training session. And the last one, it's about the counter-attack transition. It's a magic weapon today in modern football. It's really very, very important because, like you see here, the red team will not be organized. When they lose the ball like that, they are not organized. So that's the moment where you have to go fast and verticality, looking for verticality to finish the game. Yeah. So, second point, if you are convinced about, okay, my team tactic concepts must be very clear, how can we train this? And this here methodology is really key for the development of your players and also for the development of yourself as a coach. Yeah. So what we have to try to do is forget about all the analytical exercise because it's not game related. It's not the same situation as in the game. We have to try to bring the training environment and what we do on the training really close to what the players are doing in the game. So the more we have similarities, the more there will be transfer and the more there will be efficiency. Yeah. So we have to align training session, training environment and playing environment. Yeah. So instead of just running and playing and passing from one cone to another, we have to simulate the real training environment. And how do we do this in our federation? We focus on match form or game forms. What does that mean? Training exercise where we have all the conditions of the real game, which is a pitch with goals on the goal line, one ball, one team in possession, one team out of possession. So there must be opponents, one goalkeeper, and the real rules like offside. All the rest, when you have not these 6 conditions, we call it an intermediate form. It's less important because it's far away from the game. And in our training sessions, we need to have at least 50% of this match forms. Why do we want this? And how do we build this up? But first of all, it's about specificity. Everything you do in the training should be very specific. And how can you make it specific? By answering the 4 W's. Who, what, where, and when. If you answer these questions, you will have a specific topic. Yeah. Second point. In the training, we go from easy to more complex. I will give you some examples in a minute. You start easy, you start medium, you start most complex. Yeah. And in our training exercises, by being specific, we will have automatically a repetition, a lot of repetition on the topic we want. And this is the methodology, how you can make your training sessions specific. Analyze your team tactical topic. Analyze the start situation of your team. Where do you want to work on? Yeah. Determine specific coaching points for this session. Who will you focus on? What do you want them to do? And these coaching words you have to use during your session. And afterwards, of course, you evaluate and maybe you adapt the next time. But these are crucial points, crucial questions. Who's involved? What is the problem of what do you want them to do? Where does it happen? And when does it happen? And this brings you specificity. I will give you an example in a moment. Yeah, these are the solutions. So when you have answered these questions, it's up to you to make like 1, 2, 3. That's the maximum in one training to go from level 1 to level 3, which means we make 3 game formats going from easy to medium to complex. Yes. So let's have a look how this works. If you need some intermediate forms, you can do this between. Yeah, but it's not really necessary. And this is a crucial. That's why we need this game formats and these match forms, because we have to respect the law of the transfer. If we want transfer or training session to the game, if we want to see efficiency and results, we have to respect the law of the transfer. And this means everything starts with your players, with their visual perception. Do they scan the environment? Do they see the opponent? Do they see the teammates? Do they see the space? Where is the ball? Where are the cells? And then they have to take a decision. What is the best action now? Where do I have to take position? Can I dribble, or is it better to give a pass? And then they go to execution. This process of visual perception, decision-making, execution, it goes all the time around. Yeah. And after every execution as a player, you make automatically an assessment. You say, was it the right decision or not? Yeah, because for example, you are in a scoring chance, and you can say, do I give a pass, or you are one-on-one with the goalkeeper? You say, do I go for a dribble or do I shoot? And you decide to dribble, and the goalkeeper catches the ball. 5 minutes later, again, you're in front of the goalkeeper. Maybe the assessment of your action will have an impact on you say, oh, no, I'm not going to dribble because I missed already one. I'm going to shoot now. Yeah. So this is constant. These are constant cycles of scanning again, making decisions, and so on and so on. All the time, this goes around and around and around. So let's now give an example. Yeah. I will give you two examples. The first one, just like we want to, our team, we want to play like the blue team. Yeah. So this is our team. So I show you a video. And I want you to think about the questions: who, what, where, and when. Yeah. And to focus on which players, what are you going to ask them, and how can you do it in training? Let's just watch the video, a very short video. I have to say, it is not the right video. Just a moment. I take the right one. I made a mistake here. Just a moment. It takes 10 seconds to get him here. Because with this one, it's not so clear. So just a moment. No, I don't get him. I'm not gonna lose the time. I'm gonna do like this. I'm gonna copy it from here. Because this is also from the same team. I can use this one. Sorry for that. I will put the right one in the final presentation. So it will be clear. So let's just watch this one. So now it's the orange team. So the build up, how do they build up? And it is already a little bit animated, it will help you. So if your idea about building up is this, how are you going to train this? Okay, I stop here. I show it again. So this is how you want to build up. So if you want to build up like that, and I will show you now about the 3 levels: easy, medium, more complex. This is the most easy one. So who are we going to focus on? The 2 central defenders, the 2 midfielders, and the 2. So we first want to focus on the central part. Yes. Second point, afterwards, we are going to bring the next level in. And the next level is this. So just a moment. Yeah. So we focused on the center, which was 2 central defenders, 2 central midfielders. We have to bring the ball to number 9 and number 10. Yeah. First thing. Second thing, second topic, we add the wingers. Yeah. Because they are also involved. If we add the wingers in our team, we also have to add the opponent. So this is the second level of complexity, where we start building up all the time from here. So there will be a lot of repetition. Yeah. And you see at the moment, I didn't put the goalkeeper in. Yeah. And then we go to the next level. Which is, I don't need this animation. Sorry, that's what I needed. And then we go to level 3, where we see, okay, we started with this one. We started with these 6 players. Yeah. We brought it to more complexity with the wingers involved. And then finally, at the end, we bring the wing attackers, 7 and 11. And we create the full picture. Yeah. And we try now to build from the goalkeeper and to play in like an 11v11. But, and I just go out the presentation that you can see it here. We start from this. Yeah. We bring in the wingers. Yeah. Maybe we change the format of the opponents, where the 2 midfielders, maybe they decide one to go up and one to stay down. Yeah, not the bear number 6 will cover number 8 and they will press with one player less. Or they press with 4 in the center, or they press with 3 and 1 who stays. And then finally we go to the whole picture. Yeah. So we really build step by step by putting focus on the question, who do I want to involve? What do I want them to do? Yeah. So this is now a question for you. Unfortunately, we are online. We cannot do and ask your questions. But how can you now make the link from the team tactics, your ideas, to the training sessions to help your players to take the right decisions? Because it's all about that. The way you build up depends on the way how the opponent is pressing you. So your players have to learn to take the visual information and then make the right decision and make the right execution. Yeah. And now I want to show you 2 different examples where here in the first one, I focus on my goalkeeper has the ball. I want to build up through the center. I focus only on the center. And for example, we start with an easy form, 5 against 4 with 5 with the goalkeeper against 4. So this means if you play 2 central defenders and a triangle in the midfield, you have your 5 players and the goalkeeper. The opponent, they press with 3 strikers or 1 striker, 2 offensive midfielder and a defensive midfielder. It depends on the opponent. Yeah. So this can be your first start. Yeah. And then you go to you can make it more difficult and say, yeah, I play with 4-1-3-2. So I have not 3 players in the middle, I have only 2. So then you play like this. 2 central defenders, 1 defensive, 1 offensive midfield. Yeah, which makes it more difficult. Yeah, because you have only 4 instead of 5. Yes, but it depends on how you play. Yeah. Second step, we bring in the wing players. Yeah, we still have the same structure in the middle, 2-1-1, and we bring in the wingers on our side and on the opponent's side. Yeah, and we play 6 against 6, 6 plus goalkeeper against 6. Okay, we put here 3 small goals because they represent the strikers. Can we bring the ball to the strikers? Yes. And then finally, you can make it, you can help them a little bit more. Again, here you see, I have again 3 midfielders instead of 2 here. Yeah. So this is more easy for the blue team. Yeah. But again, it depends on what are your ideas, what is your structure, how do you want to build, and this is the last point for the session of today. The most important thing is you need to work, you need also to take into account what is the opponent doing. And there is where we introduce the twin topics approach. And I will share with you in a moment what I mean. Yeah. I also wanted to add something very specific. For example, in some games, you want to prepare a specific game. This is more for the older age groups and the senior teams. You say, okay, this is linked to the game plan. Yeah, I show you an example. We have the same structure, eh? 4 defenders, triangle in the midfield. Yeah, and like you see here, it is 7 plus goalkeeper, and we play against 7. So this can be an option. Yeah. So what we do, we go on one side to switch to the other side. Yeah. And this is how we train this in training. We start on one side. Here you start on the right, on the left, sorry, and we go to the right. If it doesn't work, we go back. Hop, you go back to the other side and you open there, and now you see the press has been broken. Yeah. So this is how you can see here that I am working here with a part of the group. This is the national senior team. On the other side, there are the strikers working on crosses. Yeah, because this, like you can see here, sorry, we have no strikers here. This is the defenders with the midfielders. And it's bringing to them the idea, because in that game we played Romania, they were, like you see here, the blue team, they were extremely shifting to one side. So they all go to one side, to the ball side. When you know they go to the ball side, okay, try to get on the other side. How can you do this? Okay, play back and switch very quickly. Yeah. So this is what we try to do here. You see here in black, or defend, and or defenders in orange, the central ones, and we try to play through. There is one here, in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the triangle in the middle. And you see, we start first left, and we try to go to the right, but it's not fast enough. And this gives the time to the black team to shift here. They are all back. Okay, stop. So now you see the black team, they are shifting all here. So this is where we want to go to the other side. And that must go fast, quickly. So you see here, she can break this pass and open there. Then she's pressing, but she's too late. So that's what we have been adding in this particular situation about how can we break the press in that game. And this was coming from this scouting. You see, Romania is the yellow team when they are all going to one side, and the other side they leave open. And they leave a lot of space between the lines. That was the topic in that moment. Yeah. You see here another example. Maybe you can also do this. That was the second option. There is a big gap, but you will see it here. This is also an option to break the press. Yeah. And now I want to introduce the twin topics. The more you think about twin topics, the more your session will be effective. What do I mean by twin topics? So if you work on build up from the back, you will make it more effective if you also work with the other team on high press. So you need build up means you are going to build from behind. If the press is not high, is not effective, it's not done very well, you will have no criteria for your building up quality. So you need both of the topics. And I give you the example here. How can you do this effectively? So I start with a positional game. We call it a positional box. It's like a rondo, but it's not in a circle. Yeah, it's in a box. So we have two boxes. Pitch 1 here, where the red team, they play 5 against 4 with the goalkeeper. It's about keeping the ball. Can you play through and can you score in the mini goals? But you first need to give 5 passes before you can score in the mini goals. Yeah, I want them to be in a good position, to have good ball circulation, to build up from the back. This explanation?
Yes, we are okay, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So I repeat, twin topics means you have your main topic for your team building up, but I also put in place another topic, which is just the opposite. You have an attacking and a defending topic. So this is how we start. So the blue team will really give a high press and a good press to try to score a goal in the big goals. The red team, they have to play through the press. If they can do it, it means that they did it well. Yeah. So second point, I bring them together. Yeah. And we start with the red team. We start in the offensive part here. And we try to get to the other half. Yeah. What is the focus for the blue team? press, and try to regain the ball, be compact, be really effective as a team, as a defensive team, and try to get a counter-attack. Yeah. So the focus of the blue is we will make it as hard as possible for the red. The red team, what is your focus? But you know, they are going to press you. I want you to play through. Yeah. Try to play through, try to get to the final third and try to score a goal. Yeah. If you are two coaches in a team, this is a very good situation to share responsibility with your coach, to say, okay, I am the head coach or I am the assistant. I do this team, you do the other team. Yeah. So we help the red team. We make it a little bit easier here because we want them to be successful. So we play like 10 against 8. Yes. And then we bring it. So these are the two blocks that you can see. And because you recognize here the start, 5 against 4. This was exactly what we had here. Remember? 5 against 4. Yeah, just a moment. They are knocking on my door here. Just a moment. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Sorry for that. Was the laundry service. They bring my clothes back because I have to leave this evening. So you have this situation, 5 against 4, and you see it coming back here. So this is in the first part there. This is exactly what they did in the previous. So we build up their experience and we try to get to the final third where they try to score. Yeah. Okay. And then finally, we go to the real situation, the real game, which is equal numbers. Yeah. And like you see here, both teams, they play with 4, 2 midfielders, 3 strikers. They play in the same structure. So both of them can work on the both topics. When we have the ball, we try to play through. When we don't have the ball, we will have full press and try to regain the ball and try to do a counter-attack. So the more you focus on these twin topics, the more you will be effective as a coach and as a team, because the players, they have to switch all the time from defending to attacking and from attacking to defending. Yeah. So, and this is, was my last slide for you. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I open the floor for